Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem B'Kadash. All praises and glories definitely do, especially in the times we're living in. Much respect to the apostles and others, a great millstone, and to all the brothers out there doing the work. I say, Shalom. All right, I want to put my 2 cents in it. Vocab, I believe they were doing a debate, and he, opened up that hole under his nose called the mouth and blundered out, again, a lot of, idiocy, all right? He put his foot in his mouth, all right, to be more direct, as he always does. I mean, we understand and we know who he is and what he is, okay? He's been set up by the elites, okay, to come against the truth, all right? To try to find some weak link. Or better yet, you can also look at it as being that, no different than history shows us, tells us, all right, to perverse or corrupt the minds of them that believe not. And again, as far as the elect is concerned, they can never be deceived. You understand? Once they're in this truth, they're covered. That's it. It's over. All right? You have no chance, no opportunity. All right? Over the elect. Okay? And we know that, right? Okay? I believe we read that, what? In Matthew's 24th chapter, right? If it were possible, the very elect would be deceived. Obviously, it's not possible. All right? They're not going to be deceived. Okay? But it goes to show you that, again, these people, they don't know the scriptures. All right? And just like take John 3:16 and have perverse and corrupted the mind of them that don't know any better, that lack the knowledge, okay, to go into the word world, understanding that there are many worlds, and that's based on Hebrews, the 1st chapter, the 1st and 2nd verses there, all right? Understanding that the word world there is talking about the world of Israelites, okay? Because it's talking about a set of people whom the Lord had an orderly and harmonious arrangement with, because that word world goes into that word cosmos, 2889, the Bible Concordance, and that's what it's talking about. So who did the Lord have as a set of people that he had an orderly and harmonious arrangement with? Did he have that with the whole world? No. So it really answers itself. But they've taken that to, put themselves in, to include themselves into the blessings of Israel. They're not Israel. You have to be of the seed of Israel. Nobody's going to walk in unawares. It doesn't work that way. So what are you doing? What exactly are you doing? Replacement theology, supersessionism, right, which means the same thing. It's not biblical. So what are you doing? You're adding. Okay? And we know you've taken away from the scriptures, right? The Bible Destruction Group did that. And again, they're no different. They're just puppets, front men, all right, for the elites. That's all they were. No different than modern day today with your puppet government and puppet world leaders. Okay, for the elites, for the international banking families. It's no different. All right, so this dude is looking for a way in, for inclusion, okay, as being that the whole world is going to be saved. That Yahushua is coming back to save the whole world. Okay? In other words, Edomites and the other 16 heathen nations. A multi-nation, like as if the Lord has cast away his people. Which we know that when we read Romans, whether the 9th chapter or the 11th chapter of Romans, we know that the Lord has not cast away his people. See? So what in the hell is Vocab talking about? He's not saying anything. All right? But he's simply what? He's trying to corrupt and perverse the scriptures. Yet, he calls himself an apologist. Everything he's doing is blasphemy. But you know what? Listen, this is nothing to get excited about. Nobody has to get emotional about it. All this is covered in the scriptures. Right? It tells us when we read Revelations, the 22nd chapter, verse 18 and 19, that anyone who adds or removes from this book, okay, are going to receive the plagues of this book, as in that thermonuclear fire, okay, or that concentrated laser fire from the chariots. All right, so, there's no problem here. Okay? So, let's read it here. And it says there are several covenants in the Bible. Are you hearing that, Vocab? All right? But 5 covenants are crucial for the understanding of the story. And you don't understand the story. You have no understanding. That wasn't given unto you. You don't have that blessing. You're obviously on the outside looking in. Okay? You're not in the courts of the Most High. You understand that? You're outside of the courts. Right? You're outside of that temple. You're outside of the house of David. All right? For understanding the story of the Bible and the God power, the Most High's redemptive plan. By the way, redemptive, again, redeem, right? Redemption. Who's that for? Vocab? That's for the Israelites. Okay? And that's all over the scriptures. Okay? So, the Noahic covenant, the Abrahamic covenant, the Mosaic covenant, right? Talking about Moses, right? That covenant, the Davidic covenant, right? The house of David, all right? And the new covenant. And the new covenant is with the same people. The chosen people. All right? Starting with the elect of what? Israel. Israelites. Okay? What are seven covenants? Number of biblical covenants. The Edenic covenant, right? From the Garden of Eden. The Noahic covenant, right? The Abrahamic covenant, Mosaic covenant, priestly covenant. Who's going to be the priest? We're going to be the God kings and priests of the earth. And that's pursuant to Exodus 19:6. Backed up also over there in, what is that? 1 Peter 2:9-10. A royal priesthood. I mean, again, the Davidic covenant, the house of David. That's what the Lord's rebuilding. Ezekiel chapter 37, the valley of dry bones. All right? And the new covenant is with them, as it tells you there, as well as in what? Jeremiah 31. All right? As it tells you there, Jeremiah 31, you read down, I think to like verse 4 there, which basically is telling you the same thing that you read in Hebrews 8. From verses, 8 to 10? Okay? And they're talking about Israel, all right? The northern kingdom, all right? The 10 Indian tribes, and Judah, representing the southern tribes. You understand that? Talking about the northern and southern kingdom of Israel, which are made up of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So what are you talking about? How is it that, this is a repetitive thing you have, Vocab. You and what you stand for. Constantly looking for some sort of crack or crevice for inclusion. And there is no inclusion. You understand that? So you see, we've already proven there are many different covenants. And the fact is, are we dealing with Israel here? Yes, we are. The Lord is not dealing with the world. You understand that? And this is all throughout the scriptures. All right? All right, give me a minute. All right, let's look up the word covenant. All right? All right, what does it say here? English language learner's definition: covenant, a formal and serious agreement or promise law, a formal written agreement between two or more people, business, countries, right? Conditional promises made to humanity, right, by the God power, the Most High, as revealed in the scriptures, agreement between God and the ancient Israelites. You see that? Does it say multi-nations there, Vocab? No, it does not. You see that? See, what is the biblical meaning of covenant? Conditional promises made to humanity by the God power, the Most High, Yahweh, right? Also through his son, Yahweh, as revealed in the scriptures. An agreement between the Most High power, right, Yahweh, and the ancient Israelites, in which God promised to protect them if they kept his laws and were faithful to him. Right? And we know that we went off, okay? And, we moved into wrath, all right? And he sent our enemies upon us as part of our punishment. But again, he would have mercy on whom he would have mercy, right? All right, we're going on to end this here. We'll be right back because we're going to look up replacement theology as well. And we're doing all this prior to getting into the scriptures, all right? So we'll be right back with part 2, all right? Shalom.